Welcome to NPC. And we're doing interviews, you guys. I'm not alone. We got GameBird Classic. What's going on?
What's up, dude? Super happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
Oh, dude, I'm so good. Yeah, I'm so good. I'm so stoked. This has been in the works for like what, 3 weeks, I think, give or take. So I'm just like, it's happening. It's happening. It's like being reunited after like 6 months, with PAX and everything. So,
Yeah, it's been a
super
terrible
cool to
6
hang out.
months, man. I've missed you dearly, to say the
You
least.
know, same. Yeah, same. And I missed Prime's message about scheduling for the last round of podcasts, but I got in on this one. So,
Hell yes.
although I signed up for April 1st, so if I don't show up, you'll know why. Oh, great. He's in the chat. He's in the chat.
No way. Is he in the chat?
He just
That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah. I see Steak is here as well. Welcome on in, everybody. So good to see you guys. Well, this is an official podcast after 9 years, so here's your quick housekeeping, you guys. Our game of the week, it's usually NSO game of the week, but we're saying this should have been on NSO game of the week, and it's Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. So if you picked it up last week, the conversation will be happening next Wednesday night. Jump on in. It's going to be it is going to be a good time. I want to invite everybody into the Discord. I've been seeing a lot of people jump in lately. n64josh.com/Discord is your invite. So come on in. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start doing a sponsor again. So I'm the sponsor this week. n64josh.com/anothercastle is my book, and you can get it on Audible, or you can pick it up on Amazon. And it's all about just enjoying the journey, So which has been huge for me this year. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just having fun with this. No more pressure. Let's just have some fun. So here we are, and we're having a good time. We got GameBird here with us, and we're gonna jump into segment number 1. We've even got the sound effects back. Let's do this. They're a little lagged. Like, they've done a lot in the back end of this thing, and so I'm like, am I just sitting here staring at the screen waiting for this? So it's a little bit behind. So I see a handful of people in chat are like, the Birdman, they're super stoked you're here.
Hell yeah.
Nate says it's crazy. If you look closely, it looks like Josh is interviewing himself, or maybe his younger self. Like, just put the hair back. He's like, please don't say that. Please, God. All right. Well, guys, we got 3 segments to this show now. First up, it's just what we're playing. All right. Simple, very common. You hear about it a lot, but everybody's gonna be like, we know you're not playing much, Josh. So I'm gonna be really, really leaning on GameBird for this one. So what you been playing this last week?
Oh boy. Yeah, it's been a mix of things. I started up Pokopia. That one went live on the eShop yesterday after 9 p.m. here Pacific time. I only got to do about an hour of it. I've been a little bit under the weather, so it was my first time in a while nodding off with the controller in my hand. But not to say that the game is boring. It's really nice. I feel like this is one that I'm gonna latch on to a lot more than Animal Crossing per se. I loved Fantasy Life, but I generally don't get too into the cozy games. Hopefully my love for Pokemon and the phenomenal reviews that this game has been receiving is a testament to how much this one might grab me. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's cute, it's cozy, it's got the kind of piano-y, pretty Pokemon music going on. So I'm excited to see everything this one has to offer. I've also been playing a lot of Trails in the Sky first chapter on the Switch 2. This is a remake of an excellent JRPG. It was one of the highest rated games last year. I think it averaged like a 90 or 91. Just an amazing JRPG all around. So spending a lot of time in that. And then really working on the backlog. There's so many great indies that have dropped off that I've been wanting to jump into, but the time management's hard. I don't know about your backlog, but mine is enough to give you a stroke. So,
Yo, I'm honestly proud of myself right now. I did not buy any of the Resident Evil games, and but I know I'm going to. Like, I know I'm going to. It'll probably break this weekend, but I'm just like, I bought Final Fantasy. I'm very excited to play it. I haven't touched it yet.
Yeah.
Got Fallout. I downloaded it. What I'm getting annoyed with at this point, it's totally first world problems, but is the space, like having to move stuff around and not having enough room anymore. Which again, complete first world problems. And don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for these better games and higher resolutions and all that stuff. But it is a little bit frustrating where you're like, Steak says picked up the RE Generation spec. That's the one. That's the one.
That's the one.
$89. Yeah, like
see, I picked up because I played through Resident Evil Village again recently, so I ended up picking up the game on PlayStation 5. I know we're doing Nintendo talk, so people in the crowd don't kill me.
No, whenever it's done, it's game over. We got to end this.
It's game over. Sheesh. But I booted up Requiem. I played, I want to say the first like hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of the game. I was pretty under the weather this week, and honestly, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like being scared right now because I don't feel too good. And the game starts off, it hits the ground running a lot faster than Village. This game, for me, 7 has been the scariest. The theme of 7, of the, it's kind of got that Hills Have Eyes. That,
yeah. The banjo playing in the background, like
the scary redneck stuff. For whatever reason, the scary redneck stuff is the scariest horror theme to me. I don't know why. Like when I think about like the last play, I'd rather be in a dark alley in the ghetto. For some reason, being broken down in the middle of nowhere terrifies me. So I don't know if it'll reach the scares of that one for me personally, but really liking this first hour and a half of the game. It starts off really strong. So when I'm feeling up to it, I'm looking forward to giving a full playthrough. And I'll probably check out the Switch 2 version as well, because I'm gonna want to talk about that. I know everything I've seen, it looks remarkable. Like it looks fantastic, which you love to hear.
I'm gonna give you I've talked about, I think I've talked about it on here before. I'm pretty sure I have. I may have even mentioned it on your guys' show. I can't remember, but there's a clip from when 7 came out. I'm playing on probably my Xbox One, right? On Twitch, all the lights are out, and some of my community tweeted at my younger son and said, "Hey, your dad is playing Resident Evil. Go scare him." And
I love that so much.
All of a sudden, I'm like in the zone, lights are off. All of a sudden, I get grabbed. Like he grabs me from behind, and I'm so thankful my first reaction wasn't violence, right? Because like,
sure, yeah,
like 12 or something,
fight or flight instantly.
Yeah. So there is a clip out there of him just scaring me so good. But I think what happened is, as I got through that game, I'm like, this is not, it wasn't scary any longer. It was like, okay, like it was like they almost took it to the max. And then you're like, so when I played Requiem at PAX, I was like, oh, this is just kind of more of the same. Like it's just keep your cool. And and if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. You just start back over at your checkpoint, So but it's the reviews on Requiem that are getting me, and just seeing that everybody in the community talk about it. So, and I'm also loving the almost like the Isabel Doom guy with Leon and Ditto, from Photopia. like such great timing on that. I think it's hilarious. So, but I haven't pulled the trigger. It looks like Steak was saying it stops after this month. I think he's talking about that deal for the Generations pack. And so that's good to know. Like, because I was kind of curious about that. I'm like, how long is that going to last? Because I don't want to miss out on that. I have 7 on my Xbox, but I'll double dip if it's literally $5. Like it's not not too bad. So we had the indie direct this week, and Oh, let's see what happened. Oh,
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. Yo, it's done that to me a few times where it will say I leave and I'm like, what's up? But we're doing it live. We're good. So I'm just glad I was like, maybe he's getting I'll give you guys warning right now. GameBird may have to bounce for a second to go grab a delivery. So he's got some Taco Bell coming from DoorDash. No, I'm just kidding. He's gonna eat on the podcast. Nothing like some Taco Supremes. But
Yeah, man.
no, we we had the Indie Direct, right? It's like 17 minutes, seemed like, of
Sure.
some goodness. Did you end up picking anything up from that, from the Direct, or grab any of the demos or anything?
No, not yet. Well, yes, I did grab a demo that I haven't played. It's for a game I've been really looking forward to, and I hope the game kicks butt. Dench Attack. Have you seen this one? This was featured
Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah.
briefly.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is the
yeah.
one that it's a little bit like Jet Grind Radio, Tony Hawk, but you're a train and you're grinding and doing skateboarding tricks, and it's in like a neo cyber Japan with boss fights and stuff, but you're grinding rails as a train cart. It is awesome. And there's like
With
different
Splatoon
outfits
music.
you get for, yeah, with like Splatoon style
Yeah.
music. It is wild, and I am all about that sort of Japanese kind of wacky, it's like Katamari or Patapon, some of those weirder titles. I just eat that stuff up. So I downloaded the demo yesterday. I haven't gotten a chance to play it, but it's one that I'm really looking forward to. I'll probably play before bed tonight, honestly, and get a feel for it. But I am looking forward to that. Blueprints, that's another one that I got on my PlayStation, and a couple hours and I was like, you know what? I'd rather play this on a hybrid console that I can take with me. So let's see if it comes to Switch 2. And here it is. So Moonlighter 2, that's another one. It's kind of a little bit of a Zelda style roguelite where you play as a merchant. The game looks really cool. The second one looks like they've upped the ante from the first one. So I'll probably be checking that one out as well. What about yourself? Anything called to you? Are you a big indie game player in general?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
It's one of the things I always hope for when it comes to these like indie worlds, that there's
Sure.
something that gets the community hyped, right? Like that's what I'm always hoping for. So like games like Celeste and when they announced Shredder's Revenge, like that was just absolutely bonkers. Vampire Survivors finally making it to Switch, Balatro, all those things. Now I haven't played Balatro yet, but I mean I know people just absolutely love that one. So I love when there are indies that are really filling that void. Not that there's
Totally.
I mean, some people will say that there's nothing but a void when it comes to the Switch. Other people are like, I have too many games and I can't play them all, So you just got to figure out which side you're on. But
I'm in the latter camp, and we did a episode yesterday of the Nintendo Byte podcast, and I was saying like there was a message at the end because I can't remember if it was like a super chat that came through, but I was like, for those of you who picked up a Switch 2 and you bought it for Mario, Zelda, and I don't know, Animal Crossing or one of those big, or Pokemon, one of those big ones. Try and branch out of your comfort zone a little bit. There's so many great indie titles that are coming out constantly, and there's some of the highest reviewed games of the year. Lots of them are heavily influenced by titles like Mario and Zelda and Animal Crossing. We just got Pokopia. It's not your standard Pokemon game, but first impressions, Animal Crossing fans are going to eat this game up. You're eating well with this one. So try and broaden your horizons and all that good stuff. It's going to come. It's going to come. It's just a matter of time. Work on the backlogs. Mine, like I said, it's enough to drive you mad. It's scary. Stash asked me, the same question you asked me, is there anything from this indie presentation that you're going to play? And I said, the better question is, what am I going to not play? Because that's really what I'm deciding, like constantly. What am I skipping out on? Because there's too much to catch up. And I already have games from last year and the year prior that I haven't gotten around to yet, or I haven't finished yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I've already picked up, at least a handful of indies that I've been playing on the Switch too. The one that we played at PAX, which was the Neon Inferno. That
Yeah.
was that one's fantastic. And
So
then
much fun.
there's one on sale right now. At least it was just like a couple days ago. It's called Cast and Chill, and it's a fishing
Mm,
game, and it's all pixel art. And I can't recommend it enough. And what's great, if
interesting.
you like work from home or maybe, and you've got like a setup, you can set the game to autoplay so you can just hear the sounds of nature and the dude fishing.
Yes.
And it's like super, super relaxing. It looks like you're playing in pixel art paintings. Like it's absolutely stunning. And the gameplay is also fun. You can play it where you can fish like just from the boat and you don't see what's in the water. So it's like real fishing. You just kind of
Sure.
hope you're near something, or you can follow the lure down in and see what fish are biting where. And each location has like the trophy fish. And it's,
Mm.
it's like $13 right now. And I think normally it's like 16. It's not a huge sale or anything like that, but it definitely one I recommend. From the direct, I picked up mini mini shoot adventure.
Oh yes, that's like it's like the bullet hell shoot 'em up Zelda like. That was the
Yes.
vibe I got,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody that came through stream, I played it on. I basically did an episode of NPC just while playing that game. And
Sure.
and chatting about it because we basically did the coverage of the show directly after it, and then so for that night I'm like, let's just deep dive into this game a little bit. It's so fun. Like, it's so fun, and it feels to me like just that perfect, like, I keep a Switch Lite by the bed, like, and I'll, just fire it up there. It is on Game that one is on Game Pass, so if
Sure.
you do subscribe to Game Pass, you can play it there, which I mentioned on here because as I mentioned in the Discord to Crawler and the guys, and they were like, it's on Game Pass, so I started it up there, which is cool. But yeah, the whole indie presentation was just fantastic. And I did download for the Nintendo or for our game of the week. I got Fire Red. I got the girlfriend Leaf Green,
Right.
and I heard screams from upstairs today, and I was like, and then I get a message from her, and they vaulted the Deadeye and some of her favorite guns in Fortnite. They're gone. So that's the other thing that we've been playing on the regular
Yeah.
is Fortnite almost every night, and
Right.
just having a blast with that. So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, the backlog definitely suffering, no question there. And I think it's time we get into segment number 2, where we're gonna get to know GameBird just a little bit better. So here we go.
Alright.
Yo, the sound effects are so off from the video on my end, like so off. They'll get it. They'll get there eventually. Restream's been killing it with all their new stuff, so I'll give them a pass. So if you guys are just listening to silence, I do forgive me. But yeah, we're gonna kind of just take a trip down memory lane and uh, kind of get your history with Nintendo. Like, what was your first console?
First console was the NES. I started from the beginning with Nintendo, from the very first chapter. It was a hand-me-down console, and it changed my life. I know what the next question's gonna be, so I it was one game and one console. I'll save the game for when we get there. But yeah, the NES it changed my life, but more specifically because of what came with it. And
And what game was that?
it was the gold cartridge of The Legend of Zelda. It was the very
Let's
first
go.
thing
Let's.
the very first video game I ever played. And
Oh
man,
wow.
I'm trying to think how old I was. I was far too young to be playing Zelda, to wrap my head around it. And it's definitely took me years to conquer, of exploring every cave, bombing every rock, bombing every tree, dying thousands of times, probably getting lost in some of those maze-like sections. But it really started with that gold cartridge that, to me as a kid, seeing like a gold cartridge, I was like, wow, like it was insane. And the music, the theme song, yeah, I must have been, let me think. I must have been 4 years old, I believe.
Wow.
Like 3 or 4 years old. Um, yeah, and I played it for years before I beat it, but it really started my video game journey. And I won't say, because I think something in particular that came later cemented me as a gamer, but it all started with that console and that gold cartridge. And I like just very fond memories of spending dozens of hours in front of my small, uh, probably 13-inch CRT TV, you know?
Yes, that's so great. But so, kind of a fun fact about me, not the first game I played, but the first Nintendo game was Zelda. My
Mhm.
cousin had brought his or my step cousin had brought his NES over. We were supposed to be out swimming, and I got like when I turned it on, it was like, yo, this is the arcade at home. This is the most
Yeah.
insane thing I've ever seen. And yeah, there's no going back. So I love that so much. Well, let's talk about an early Nintendo memory that stands out for you.
Man, obviously that's a big one. That one was a game changer because that's where it all started for me. But really, I think, getting my footing in on the NES with The Legend of Zelda and Metroid and Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and Mario 3 and Paperboy and the classics that we all know of. Those were really the foundation, but experiencing my first generational jump and getting one Christmas the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World, that's when everything changed. 'Cause it was like, "Holy hell." Like,
Mhm.
I can't even believe that was the very first time I felt as a kid, "It doesn't get better than this. It's never it's never gonna look better than this. It's never gonna sound better than this. It's never gonna play better than this." And, this generation holds some of my, probably my most cherished and special memories as a gamer. Um, and really, I mean, how do I even pick a specific memory that stands out? That your questions are some of the hardest questions I've ever had to answer ever. No joke, because it's just like a flood of so many memories. Um, Man, Super Mario World is so special. I really think that to this day is one of the greatest games ever made. Period. But maybe it was A Link to the Past, is that early memory. It's getting the SNES and seeing that generational leap, experiencing that for the first time, and then kind of coming full circle to a new entry in a series that I started with and seeing how far it had come with dungeon design and bosses and story, a game that had almost no story to having this tale, I think that probably is, a big early memory moment where it's like, "Holy crap, like, now you're playing with power." It's that tagline really came into
Yeah.
perspective. Yeah, that one was really special for me, but it's honestly, it's hard to pick. I feel like you and I could probably very easily do an entire show about early Nintendo memories
Oh,
that
yeah,
mean
yeah,
so
for
much
sure.
to us. So, yeah,
Was the SNES a Christmas or the SNES, was it a Christmas console for you?
that was a Christmas console. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, so
and
that's
man,
and it those are the best memories, honestly, like
absolutely. Man, the hours I sunk into that system, even like Street Fighter 2 Turbo, like, oh my god.
bro, let's just talk about that for a while. Like,
Yep.
that like, that was, uh I got my Super Nintendo, which I mean, I begged for. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, like, this was not an easy thing to make happen, and they made it
Yeah,
happen for me. And my aunt got me Street Fighter, but my parents' rules were no fighting games, although I could play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and,
sure.
no games on Sunday, because God hates video games on Sunday, apparently, um, and so as soon as I opened Street Fighter, I immediately pulled the packaging off it because I'm like, I know I can't return it. Plastic is
Yeah, yeah.
gone. And bro, and then I had my best friend in like 8th grade had Turbo, and I was like, this is so much better. Like to be able
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
move that much faster. And I did you kind of dominate your friend group in Street Fighter?
No, I wish I did. So when I was young, I mostly played with my cousins.
Okay.
I'm an only child. I didn't have any siblings to play with, but my cousins and I were really close growing up. So we would do little tournaments, and it was like me and one of my cousins were the top of the bunch. We played a lot of Mortal Kombat too. So it was like
Yes.
that one we get especially competitive with. But I was with the fighting games. I was never at the top of the bunch. I was always close.
Gotcha.
I was the almost there.
Who'd you like to use in Street Fighter?
Sagat. I loved
Oh,
Sagat.
okay.
Yeah.
From
Yourself?
like
Who's
from the
one?
rip? Like was that your first pick from the
Yeah.
Yeah?
I loved I just thought he was super cool with the giant scar across the chest and the
Oh
eye
yeah.
patch. And I
Yep.
thought the short shorts were cool because I didn't know anything about Muay Thai. I was like, dude, this guy's got short shorts on. That's rad.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So I remember I had like my friend got like his uncle bought him the Super Nintendo the day it came out. And
Yeah.
so then like a week or two later, I did the sleepover thing and we went and rented Street Fighter. But the first Street Fighter you couldn't play as Bison, Balrog, Vega, or Sagat. Like they weren't an option. So and I had never really played Street Fighter before, not in the arcade. Like I don't really remember playing it in the arcade. And so Zangief is who I ended up, and he's got some of the
Oh,
hardest moves
let's
to try
pause
to
real
like.
let's
Got
pause
your
real quick. They're
delivery.
here.
All right,
They're
all
here.
right. Chat, hit me with some questions. Chat. We'll do a little one-on-one time. Look at that picture. Is just absolutely unreal. That for all the audio listeners, it looks like GameBird is finding he's having a Zen moment right now. So I do hope you guys get to get to see this picture because it's some good stuff. But chat, who's your guys' main in Street Fighter 2? Let's see who are you picking first? You going Ryu? You going Guile? Maybe a little Blanca? Was it E Honda? Who's your main in Street Fighter 2? Let's see what the chat has to say here. So after Zangief for me, I just started learning everybody. Guile was one of my favorites, kind of obviously a charging character, and then Ryu, Ken, loved all their moves. Jason says Blanca, let's go, love that. Blanca was always fun. I always loved doing E Honda and the 1,000-hand slap and Chun-Li as well. So hey, he is back. That picture was fantastic.
I'm in a constant state of meditation. And I needed to bless the audience with my presence because I might possibly be the greatest guest you've ever had on your show. I don't know.
After 9 seasons and thousands of episodes, there's a very good chance it could be that very well could be the case. So I asked chat. Jason said he played Blanca, and Nate was always Guile. So and I was telling him, but while you were gone, I went from Zangief to basically everybody. Like, and once Super Street Fighter 2 came out, game over. Like, I absolutely loved every character, and I just had such a good time with the Street Fighter games. So, well,
the other thing too, I wanted to add, or actually, I'll save it. I'm looking at some of the stuff we're gonna go through. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'll wait till we get there. Sorry.
Okay, I think
we're jumping ahead.
Like, I think we first game we kind of answered, right? Which was Link to the Past, right? Okay, so
first game was the gold Zelda cartridge.
Right. And would you say that was the first game that made Nintendo kind of feel like special and like you were, you're in?
No, my apologies. Link to the Past. That was the one where, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just seeing that jump, yes.
So kind of take me through the history of just the consoles for you. Like you started with the NES, SNES. Did you stay Nintendo the whole time?
I stayed Nintendo. I've owned and still own every Nintendo console and handheld. I've got my old NES. I've got my old really yellow Super Nintendo.
Nice.
My 64, all the handhelds. I never got rid of any of it. I have all my games from growing up. Minus a small handful that disappeared through the years, whether they were taken or lost as a child. Not really sure. But yeah, I've stayed with it. You know, when PlayStation, I remember when PlayStation was a thing, I had really wanted a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, really, really bad. Well, they were
Oh no.
sold out around that time, so
Mm.
I got a PlayStation for Christmas, and obviously I was very grateful at Christmas, but internally I was pissed, dude. I was like, "Oh, this PlayStation?" You know, like it was like, "We've got Nintendo at home, sweetie." So ended up loving the console, all things considered. But I also didn't have a memory card. You know, my parents wouldn't get me a memory card for like months.
No.
So it was like, you know, I'd leave my console on overnight and hope, you know, the power didn't go out or my parents didn't
Right.
turn something off. And it was
Yes.
a lot of starting for months, starting the same games over again and again and again. But yeah, I've been there since the beginning. The only console that I didn't get on board with until this generation is Xbox. And
Oh
go
wow.
figure, it's the generation where Xbox has been the most turbulent. But when the first Xbox was announced, um, for whatever reason, I was like, I don't get it. An American console? Like, what? The name was like super edgy, you know, the
Right,
Xbox.
right.
So I was like, I don't get it. So yeah. And then you know, I had a 360, or was it the 360? Was it the 360 for I bought it for nuts and bolts.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. Okay.
that was a very painful experience as a hardcore banjo fan. Um
Oh yeah, yeah.
and so I traded in my Xbox. I'm like, I don't think Xbox is for me. Not that I think it's bad. At the time, I just didn't think it was for me. And I know there were some great games on there, some that I played later on PC, but it wasn't until their failing gen with like Game Pass. I'm like, man, what a consumer friendly, like amazing thing we've got
Yeah, yeah,
going.
yeah.
But yeah, the Nintendo side, I've been there since the beginning. I never shied away. I never gave up. Not even during the dark ages with the Wii U. I was always a believer.
Love it, man. That's so good. Uh so we got Nintendo Prime with the super chat. Nothing but glasses of milk. So um he was like, this is not an actual podcast if I don't get GameBird to mention cream. So there we go. There's I mean the intro for your guys' show, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're like there's milk everywhere, right? Like
Yeah, milk secretions. Yeah, is how I would describe it.
perfect. I love it.
And during the making of that, I just want to say, just for anyone, I know a lot of people are probably wondering in the chat, the creaming went really well both on and off the set.
Oh,
So
well there we go. Perfect.
I know a lot of people were concerned about that.
I mean, you know, me, I was. Attack the Backlog is here, says nuts and bolts with a crying face. Like,
Yeah.
that was a rough one. My son was like huge banjo fan, and so but he seemed to like nuts and bolts. I don't, but he was the type of kid that would also like, you know, he loved Minecraft. He loved folding origami. So I think just the idea of putting stuff together and building machines, like it worked for him. But
Sure.
I know that wasn't the case for everybody.
It felt like one of those corporate things where like I've got a huge chip on my shoulder with us never getting a third banjo game or
Yeah.
a reboot or a remake. It really bothers me, and I do find that companies do this thing sometimes where they'll give a version of something that everyone loves that's wildly different than the thing that everyone loved, and no one wants it and no one buys it, and they're like, "Well, I guess people don't like banjo anymore." It's like,
Right.
"No, we don't want a banjo kart builder that's racing based on physics. We want, it'd be like if I don't know, if Zelda made a not great kart game and it didn't do well, and Nintendo said, I guess people just don't like Zelda anymore, so
If Tears of the Kingdom
sorry.
was just a kart racer with the Ultra Hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, chat is going crazy. Nuts and bolts and creaming. Am I on the right NPC? Nate said, attack the backlog. Said randomly milk was also a big part of my channel in the beginning. So I love it. So good. Well, we'll kind of shotgun these real quick. Just to be cognizant of the time here. So I feel like the NES and the SNES. Oh, go ahead. What?
I'm a yapper, so I apologize.
No,
I'm not in any rush.
okay.
We're good.
Cool.
We're good.
Cool. I feel like SNES and NES we kind of hit on, unless there's some major memory you want to talk to from that era.
Yeah, I guess I'll add this obviously everything started with the NES, but with the Super Nintendo, that was the console that really cemented me as a lifelong gamer. That's the console that really changed my life and set the trajectory for why GameBird Classic is even a thing. It created my love for Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Final Fantasy, so many huge IP that are so big today. Yeah, I played some of these games, with obviously the original Zelda, the original Mario on NES, but it's those follow-up games, the following generation, that really blew my mind about what a game could be and what a game could do. And the fact that I can sit here today and look back on so many genre defining games. We talk about Street Fighter and Super Mario World, or Chrono Trigger for RPGs. And these are games that you look back on and are still kind of 10 out of 10 experiences. Like, even if you reviewed them against modern standards, hold up so well. So this the SNES is so important because I really believe that this is the generation that defined me in my love for both video games in general as a whole and Nintendo overall.
Yeah, our game of the week last week was Earthbound, and I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so angry that I did not play this game sooner. Like, it is, I can already tell it is something incredibly special, like incredibly special, and fuzzy pickles. So I mean, what game is not going to be great that has fuzzy pickles? So, well, let's jump into N64 then. Any real fun memories from that genre, or that not genre, that generation? There's the word.
Oh, man. Absolutely. 4-player local multiplayer madness.
Oh, yes.
Gosh, the memories. Whether it was Kart, whether it was Smash, I'm giving SNES some credit for genre defining games, but the 64 was there too. GoldenEye, that proof of concept for a console first person shooter, and just the hours of fun in GoldenEye multiplayer, playing, annoying people as Odd Job and laying mines down everywhere.
Yes. Okay, there's a right or wrong answer to this.
Sure.
Diddy Kong or Mario Kart 64?
I think Diddy Kong's the correct choice, but I played way more Mario Kart 64. And I think the best, like, to this day, what is it? The block fort? Is that the versus?
Yes.
Is like the greatest kart versus arena period.
Yep.
Bring back Block Fort, Mario Kart World, Nintendo. Bring back Block Fort. We need it. It's not been topped. Am I right?
No, I want to say, was it is it the one that's like different color? I'm trying to remember, because I'm thinking of the donut. Is it different color and then different levels? Is that the Block Fort one? Yeah, I think it was. I think somebody in chat may be able to correct me, but I think it was on 3DS. I think you could.
Maybe you could play that. Back. Yeah,
I think you could. Like, I think that was one of them. But yeah, I mean, and I see Attack the Backlog saying WWF No Mercy, so good, like so good.
That's a great one.
And then Diddy Kong, of course. So, Attack the Backlog says the donut was the best. That was a good one too.
Donut was great. Yeah, donut was great. And I got to add, Josh, because I love the Nintendo 64. I'm assuming you do too. It's in the name, you know.
Yeah, it was because my name is practically John Smith. It was just easier
Yeah,
to put like N64 in front of it. It was like
sure,
what's the smallest? Yeah, so
for sure. But like I have so many. I don't think it's anywhere near the best Nintendo console for a number of reasons. But some of the again nostalgia factor and like thinking of some of my favorite memories with this console. Obviously, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask were massive, massive, massive. My favorite 3D platformer of all time was on this console, Banjo Kazooie. I love Mario 64. Don't get me wrong. I just think Banjo did everything that Mario 64 did, but a little bit better. I don't want to.
yeah. Yo,
I know.
chat is saying Nate said I'm telling you guys, rare Nintendo better than Nintendo in the N64 gen.
Listen, man, Nintendo, they set the bar with that stuff. They were the first. They were the pioneers, exploring new lands, new territories with 3D platformers and 3D kind of open world adventure games. And I think Rare just took a formula that Nintendo already nailed and just built on it. I think that's really what it was. Banjo is just a very special game to me. I think even musically, like Grant Kirkhope has been my favorite game composer since. I think the work he did in that game, obviously he crushed it with GoldenEye as well, and he's done so Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, some great work there. But I think about how there was like that even Gruntilda's Lair, there was that core theme, but as you got close to the different worlds, the theme would be completely rearranged with new instruments to fit the theme of those other worlds, but it was the same song. Really brilliant stuff, great characters, great humor and writing. But yeah, 64 is still amazing. I just man, Banjo. I'm jaded, man. I'm jaded. I'm pissed. Where the hell's Banjo, dude?
Right, get him back. Who knows? Maybe the new head of Xbox. Maybe she will be like, hey, let's get Banjo back. Everybody tweet at her.
Yeah.
When their new system's called like the Helix or something, I saw today or something like that. So that's get Banjo on the Helix. Just get Banjo on the Switch. Like, let's be real. That's like
Yeah.
just bring him home. You know what I mean? Like, bring him
Totally.
home. So
I think remake the first game. Get like Toys for Bob to do it or something, or Platonic Games. Remake the first game. I think that's the right move. Do a modern remake, rebuild it, and reintroduce it to a new audience. Fans are going to love it. They're going to want to play it, and then it gives the opportunity for players who never experienced it to jump in. So
yeah, literally, as you said, that Attack the Backlog said, man, they should get Platonic to make a new Banjo.
Yep.
Like the exact same time. That's perfect. So, well, let's talk GameCube, where Rare left us all high and dry, and I do feel like a new kid moved in during the GameCube era, but I'm curious about some of your favorite memories.
GameCube was epic. The codename Project Dolphin, I'll never forget. I was actually sad when they released the when they unveiled the official name for the console as the GameCube, because I just thought the Nintendo Dolphin sounded so cool to me at the time.
Yeah.
But it was my favorite color. We got a purple console for the first time. Super exciting. I obviously fell in love with the atomic purple controllers on the Nintendo 64. This console really set the bar. It felt like Nintendo was trying to compete as far as like power. Games looked better than the PlayStation 2. That was really cool to see. This console has my favorite game of all time to this day, The Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, my favorite game of all time. Game that still looks beautiful today, timeless art style. And again, the iconic 4-player memories, Smash, Double Dash. Oh my God, I love Double Dash so much. It was so it was a game changer for me. Rogue Squadron, Luigi's Mansion as a new IP. Everyone's kind of like, what the heck is this? And it ended up being so cool. Getting an exclusive Resident Evil on there, 4, which is one of the best in the whole series. So this is a really special system. At the time, I think it probably shot up quickly to my favorite. I don't look back on it as my favorite, but I do think it has some of my favorite memories. And I think for the most part, we got some early on, at least, some pretty strong. We got some Monkey Ball on there, some great Mario Party stuff. There was just a lot here to love. SSX Tricky. Oh man, yeah.
Time
Great
Splitters.
console. Wavebird. Yeah, Time Splitters. The Wavebird though, the most epic controller for a long time. Yeah. So game stuff. I loved the Cube.
That was like one of my goals with the GameCube was to have 4 Wavebirds, and
yep,
it was so rad seeing all 4 lights light up at the same time, making sure everybody was on the right channel, so that and it was always the game I would always play is be like, okay, you push forward on your stick and rotate your dial until the light pops up on the console. Will know that's what number you are, so nobody had to stand up and go and look. But no, I think the company that kind of took that spot for Rare on the GameCube was Factor 5 with the Star Wars games, with Rogue Squadron and what Rogue Leader 1 and Tier 2 and 3, right? Like they were just Factor 5 there was just something magical about that company.
Yeah.
And
totally.
I think every time I've gone back to play Rogue Squadron, I'm like, I can't believe how it is insane how well it holds up. And the fact that you said I've never played Resident Evil 4. I know I shouldn't be allowed to be called a gamer, but Resident Evil 1, that remake, it was like, I just remember I didn't have a lot of people to console war with, but the few people I did, it was like, show me an Xbox game that looks as good as this,
sure.
like in the graphical, in the graphical, you gotta win in the graphical trenches that with Resident Evil. So, really cool stuff.
Here's the funny thing about Resident Evil 4, and this is probably a super hot take. It was one of my favorite games at the time, and I just was obsessed with it, and it's still one of, if not my favorite Resident Evils. But I do, in a sense, think that Resident Evil 4 ruined Resident Evil for a little while. And I know that might be a big hot take, but I do not like Resident Evil 5 or 6. It went 5. Listen, I had fun with 5. There was some fun multiplayer stuff there.
Chris,
yeah.
Chris.
There was a fun time to be had there with the multiplayer third person madness, but it really sucked the scare factor and the horror and changed it to an action game, really. And 6 in a lot of ways is the same way. And even with some of the more modern entries that I've really enjoyed, 7, 8, and 9 feature more action, where it's horror, but then it turns into an action game. And as much as I love Resident Evil 4 and it being my favorite entry in the series, I think back on Resident Evil 2 and the remake and what a perfect horror title that is. And I don't know, I love the game, but I think it did a little bit of damage to the future, because I think they saw how well it performed. I'm like, oh, we need to go all in on the action because that's what's really popular right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a weird take.
So I played 1. I played a little bit of 0. Played all the way through 1. Just adored that game. It's just incredible. 0 was fun, but I think I borrowed it from a friend. I don't think I ever owned it. And then I wasn't interested in playing the PlayStation versions of 2 and 3. They were on GameCube, but they weren't remastered or remade or whatever. And there was Code Veronica, right? And then I don't know what happened when 4 came out. I think honestly what happened, I had started playing on Xbox Live, and I was playing Crimson Skies and Rainbow Six and Halo and that kind of stuff. And I think that's probably why I missed it, because I remember living at a certain house, and then as soon as I moved and had broadband, which was not it was not readily available back then, I feel like the GameCube went to my kid's room, and I played mainly Xbox, mainly Xbox for a while there. So So I think that's why I ended up skipping it. But yeah, absolutely fantastic series. Love that they're still going so strong right now.
Yeah.
How about the Wii? Any fun memories on the Wii for you?
Yeah. I love the Wii, and I think it's an underappreciated console. Obviously, it was a huge breakthrough for Nintendo, hitting over 100 million. It was like 101 million units, somewhere around there, 101, 102. Um, really big deal. I do think early on there was a little bit of an overpromise with the motion controls. We did
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
lot of waggle and stuff. But that being said, I think that console did some really incredible stuff that gets overlooked. Virtual Console obviously was
Yeah.
massive. Mii's, I still love them. I wish we had more Mii related stuff. Um, I mean, this was the console that birthed the Mario Galaxy series, which is one of the coolest and most unique and some of the best Mario games out there, in my opinion. And really cool, a lot of really cool third party stuff that I played on this console. When you look past the shovelware, I think the Wii is an exceptional system. And while I don't think the Wiimote and Nunchuck are my favorite controller, I think they're brilliant for what they did. I don't know. I think the Wii is just a really remarkable system. One of the best looking consoles too. I think it's very
Yeah.
sleek and modern. One of the sexiest consoles I think that we've ever gotten, if I'm being 100% honest. And I used to love that sweet blue glow that would come from the
Yeah,
disk
I
drive
was just
when
gonna say,
you know what I mean?
dude.
That always brought
I'd
a smile to my face.
be playing like Gears of War and like pass out on the couch, and then like 3 a.m. the Wii light is like shining in my face, and I'm like, "What? I gotta get to bed." Like, what's going on?
Yep. And actually, here's a very specific Wii memory. Um, it's a memory I'll never forget. So my best friend, we met right. It was like the night before the Wii came out,
Mm.
and I met him through a buddy of mine, and he had a big party. His parents were out of town. I think I don't know how old I was. It was like my senior year, I think, when the Wii came out. His parents were out of town, and he had a party, invited a bunch of people over, and somehow like video games got brought up. He had like GameCube set up with stuff, and somehow we started talking about video games. And he's like, "Oh, you gonna get the Wii?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna line up like at 4 or 5 in the morning, call out of work and line up." And he's like, "Oh, me too. You want to stay the night and go together?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah." And so I was working at Costco at the time, and I didn't know this guy. He didn't know that I'm like a big goof and kind of a weirdo. So it's like he wakes me up at like 4:30 in the morning. I'm all groggy. I'm like, I'm gonna call my manager and call out of work. And so I call and I plug my nose and I'm like, "Hello, it's Cameron. I'm really sick and I can't come on right now." And I'm talking to my I'm talking to, to my work and stuff. And I hang up and I turn over and he's just like looking at me like, "What the hell? What the hell was that?" And so we go to the mall, we line up, we're like the first three in line, and really cool. Cinnabon opens up early. They're passing out Cinnabon samples. We get in. I was number two in line. I'm so excited. And my card's not working. And dude, my heart starts racing. So I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Can you please hold this Wii and Twilight Princess for me? I'm gonna go to the ATM and withdraw cash." And they're like, "Yeah, no problem." So I'm racing, sweating bullets. I get my money, but the ATM eats my card and won't give me my card back. And so
No.
like, do I figure out my card or I just abandon it and go get the Wii? So I abandoned my card, and it was just a very stressful thing. And I
Oh
was so
yeah.
tired. And I remember getting back home and I'm smiling and I pop in Twilight Princess and I pass out. I just completely pass out with the Joy-Con and nunchuck, and yeah, it was such a memorable thing. The wave of emotions of like meeting this dude, staying the night at his house, calling out of work, my credit card not working, then getting eaten in the ATM, and then passing out and not even getting to play the damn thing. So
That's so fun. I forgot that was like a thing, like where the ATM could eat your machine, or like if you handed your card to like the gas station attendant and they're like, it's not working. I got to keep this now.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah, yeah.
what? What do you mean you have to keep it? No, you do not. Like, give it back. That's so crazy. But yeah, I almost feel like when I got my Wii, it was almost like a drug deal. Like my buddy was like, okay, you got to get into Game Crazy right now. Like I got it behind the counter for you. Nobody else knows it's here. Like,
Yeah,
like,
dude. I
hurry,
remember that.
hurry up. So, how about the Wii U? Did you pick that one up also?
Wii U I picked up. It wasn't a day one for me. This was like the
Yeah.
first time that I wasn't trying to get it at launch. Um, not really for any specific reason. I think it was more of like just at that time, like I was just watching my spending. It wasn't because I didn't believe in it. Um, and you know, the Wii U doesn't have many games, but if you look at the average review scores of the game that it did have, has one of the strongest lineups from a
Right.
review standpoint. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
almost like a perfect lineup of games. The problem with the Wii U is I think it's a concept that was ahead of its time. I really think that's the big issue. I don't think the technology was there yet, at least the technology that Nintendo was willing to invest in. And I think it's a brilliant idea. A lot of people are clamoring to get Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD on the Switch, but
Yes.
I really believe there'll be inferior versions without that Wii U functionality of having your inventory and map on a second screen that makes the experience more immersive and seamless. It's the best way to play those games, period. And the replaying Wind Waker on that console was probably my favorite memory, and getting that a Wind Waker themed rendition. It's my favorite game of all time. So seeing them launch a bundle with that Zelda theme was really, really cool for me. And playing that game with sorry, brain fart, the sailcloth, the improved sailcloth,
Oh, yes, yes.
sailing. And those dual screen mechanics was just perfect. My big hope for Switch 2 was that it was going to have a clamshell design. It was going to be sleek, but with the second screen. I thought that would be the next evolution of Switch. It didn't happen, but you never know. The fact that Nintendo's selling us a $100 Virtual Boy kit to me says that they would not be against selling a $100 screen attachment for your Switch One to bring maybe DS games, 3DS games, Wii U stuff. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's just the whole concept behind that console. I would like to see return, and getting to experience Zelda like that was very special for me.
Oh yeah, no question. It was a great way. I did not play any Twilight Princess, but I did play some Wind Waker for sure, and it was great. It was great on there. Loved it. So, well, let's jump into the next. I feel like
Sure.
we've nailed this. We've nailed this. And we got to get this new segment, you guys. It's the NPC top 3, and I know GameBird is nervous about this one.
Lord.
So, here we go. All right. Well, every guest that joins the show now gets to face the NPC top 3. So you're going to get 4 Nintendo questions, and then a wild card that you get to choose. Okay. So first up, number 1, top 3 Nintendo games of all time.
Damn you. This is brutal. This is so brutal. I can't I struggle with the top 10 is like near impossible for me. So narrowing it down to 3 is really hard. Now, I do have a question about this. Is this like my like very subjective personal, these are my 3 top ones, or am I trying to be objective? Like I think these are the best regardless of.
Nope. No, they're yours. They're yours. So if, Barbie Horse Adventure is number 2, like that's fine. If it was you played it on your,
So a third party exclusive counts.
It's up to you. It's
okay.
If you played it on a Nintendo system, I say it's fair game.
Okay, in no particular order. I cannot do a top 3 Nintendo games without including this game. This game is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, period. And my favorite Mario game of all time, and that is Super Mario World. I think this game is perfect. It's beautiful. It's just as good today as it was way back, way back when. Super Mario World, 10
Love
out of
it.
10 masterpiece. Oh man, this is jacked up. I want to put Wind Waker on here, but like it is my personal favorite game of all time. But
Yeah.
I feel like the better game for this list is either A Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. I'm gonna say Ocarina of Time. I'm just gonna put it here.
Oh
Uh,
wow. Okay.
not my favorite in the series, but I think it is one of the most important Nintendo games ever made, and for I think most Zelda fans probably defines the series for them. Uh, uh, yeah, Super Mario World, Ocarina of Time. Let's get one more in here. Oh my gosh, there's so many games flooding to my mind.
I'm assuming Banjo is going to be in this top three.
I want to put Banjo, but I really want to put Banjo, but I think I'm gonna do a surprise game because listen, I have an adventure game here with
Mhm.
Zelda.
Okay.
I have a platformer here with Mario. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna add another genre to the mix, and it's one of my favorite genres of all time. RPGs, they mean so much to me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm hoping one day for a spin-off like turn-based RPG Zelda game. Even a paper Zelda game would be sick someday as a spin-off.
Oh,
But I'm gonna put Chrono Trigger.
okay.
This is a
All
game a
right.
lot of people are hoping will get remade or remastered. This game's perfect, guys. This is another. I think all three of these games. I think Ocarina of Time probably shows its age a lot more than Chrono Trigger or Super Mario World. But those three, I feel good about those.
Okay.
That was
Not not
hard.
not bad. Not bad at all. Uh, let's keep it going. Top three Nintendo consoles.
Damn you. Um, okay, we got one easy one here.
Okay.
It's a console I've already raved about in this live stream. Super Nintendo, guys. I think this was history in the making and defined a lot of the biggest and best IP we have today with Nintendo. Yes, they did great things on the NES, but when you look at what a lot of these core series did on Super Nintendo, whether it's Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Star Fox, Final Fantasy, you name it, SNES is really what launched this. Next one I'm going to go with is the Nintendo Switch. It changed the gaming landscape completely. The very first console that's a hybrid, play it at home, play it on the go. It merged their mobile and home unit. Not only that, look at its lifespan and just the sheer amount of games. We got two Zeldas on it. We got
Right.
one of phenomenal Mario's, great third party support, third party exclusives, tons of RPGs galore. Switch kicks butt and really changed the way everyone plays. And now look at all, Microsoft is chasing that hybrid, games on the go. Sony might be chasing it too. They already got the portals. We got Steam Deck now, all these different consoles. So this is a big one. Next, this was really hard. Third one for me. Can I choose a portable for this, or should I stick with
No,
mainline
it's
hardware?
this is you. And then when these go out
Man.
as clips and the judgment comes your way, it's like you just get to own it.
Yeah, for sure. No, who's gonna judge me? I'm like the best guest this podcast has ever had.
Sure.
Universally agreed around the world, around the
Yeah.
globe.
Yeah. We'll,
Um,
we'll put it in the poll.
yeah, top 5 in 3 countries, by the way. So I'm gonna go with my third one. Oh man, I'm gonna say the 3DS, and the reason why I picked that is
Ooh,
because I'm taking into consideration the backwards compatibility for the DS, which
Mhm.
might arguably be one of the best Nintendo consoles of all time. I'm going to say the 3DS, including the backwards compatibility. I just think it remarkable. Being able to play all my DS games on this one, but the 3D tech was neat, although I didn't use it that much. I just think when you combine those libraries, It's insane and nearly unmatched, and a lot of really cool. I mean, we even got a really cool version of Mario 64 on here, which is, even those mini games, I had so much fun playing. Yeah, yes, SNES, Switch, and 3DS. I'm going to stick with it.
Boom. Even Ocarina of Time on that system is
Ocarina of Time. Yeah,
is
killer.
is chef's kiss. So, all right, here we go. Top 3 Mario games.
This one was easy for me. I think this one was easy for me.
Okay.
Number one, de facto best Mario game, period, in my opinion, is Super Mario World. You heard it here, guys. I know a lot of people think Mario 3 is the best. I think Mario World does it better. That's just me. Next, Mario Galaxy 2. I think Mario Galaxy was revolutionary, no pun intended.
Yep.
And I think Mario Galaxy 2 took everything that Mario Galaxy did and upped the ante and did it a little bit better. And we got Yoshi in it, which is really cool. And we're getting a movie on it. So, hell yeah, Mario Galaxy 2. Yeah.
I would be willing to bet that those that say World is so good like 2 better strictly because of Yoshi.
Possibly.
I think it's a thing. I think it's backed by science.
Also, this series, which is really cool, is the first time we ever had like a mainline Nintendo game with fully orchestrated soundtrack, which is just rad in general.
Sure.
Beautiful music. My third pick is going to be maybe controversial. I'm not sure. Mario Odyssey. It was between Mario Odyssey and Mario 3 for third place. But I think I'm going to give it to Mario Odyssey just for a little bit of that sense of wonder that I got in this game. That was pretty magical. And New Donk City is, in my opinion, one of the best worlds in a platformer ever. Just that whole festival parade mission that you do that just feels like a homage to the history of this iconic series is just very, very special. And the ending of that game is wild. Like getting to take over Bowser in a 3D Mario. Hell yes. So yeah, those are my 3.
Although I have a hard time with World and 3, I always go back and forth. I think we probably have the same list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
I'd have to go back and see, like I've done top 10s and stuff before, but that's solid. That's solid. This was kind of fun. Top 3 underrated Nintendo games.
Okay. This is probably the hardest one for me, because there's a few games that came to mind, but this is one of those categories where I'm going to leave tonight and I'll be laying in bed and be like, God, I forgot about that one. I should have said that one. So this one's hard. I'm going to throw out 2 that came to my mind first. They're the first 2 games that popped in my mind. They are third-party exclusives, and they're both Wii games. Very, very special games that I think were overlooked, wildly underrated, and games that I pray make a triumphant return someday, whether it's a remaster or an eShop release or maybe NSO if we ever get Wii on there. The first one is Mad World. Have you ever played this one?
Yeah,
wild.
I don't know if I played much of it, but I do remember it for sure. Like,
so this was a game by Platinum. The whole game is in black and white. It looks like a novel.
Isn't there red also? Isn't there?
Yes.
Oh, there you
blood.
go.
Blood. The only color is the blood.
That's
and
right.
It is a crazy action game where you do different combinations with motion controls. Very Platinum, but it is so much fun with epic boss fights. And the game was so freaking good, but unfortunately, it's a hard M rating. And I think at the time, we obviously was designed for a more broad and casual audience. And the audience just wasn't there for it. But this one is a masterpiece. Guys, if you've not heard of or played Mad World, look up a trailer for it on the Wii. Mad World, epic game, underrated. Another one that was a third party from Capcom on the Wii, possibly in my top 10 Wii games of all time. Zack and Wiki. Have you heard of this one?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so Zack and Wiki is awesome. It is a puzzle-based adventure game with cel-shaded graphics and like better than Captain Toad, with epic puzzle-driven boss fights and a great story. You're like treasure hunters, like almost like an Indiana Jones treasure hunter and you're pirates, sky pirates, and the game is unbelievable. It is so good. I think it was reviewed incredibly well back in the day, but it is so overlooked and so underrated. This was on my list. I had a list way back of Capcom games that need a return, a triumphant return. 2 of the 4 series have returned. Onimusha's returning, Okami's returning. The other 2 we need is Zack and Wiki and Beautiful Joe, baby. Third and underrated, this is where I have a hard time. So I chose something a little bit more random. And this is another third-party game that came out on the Switch, Bayonetta Origins. It's cutesy. It's another one that's a little bit of a puzzle adventure. People love Bayonetta. This game was wildly overlooked because it was cutesy and it's different than anything else. But I think this game is actually better than Bayonetta 3. This game's really good.
Whoa,
And
okay.
it's more story driven. Really, really good. I'm gonna do a runner-up, and I know it's supposed to be top 3, but screw it. I'm the GameBird. I'm gonna break the rules.
This is why you're
My
number
favorite game of
1.
all. That's right. That's why I'm the best, and everyone in the audience, don't you forget it, or else. No, my runner-up is gonna be my favorite game of all time. I think Wind Waker is, a lot of people see Zelda lists and they'll push for certain games to be up there on the timeline. I never really see anyone push for Wind Waker to be higher up there. I really believe that even putting aside my bias, I think that the art style is just timeless. I think it holds up better than any game in the series. It looks like a modern game today just because of how brilliant that cell shading was, that Saturday morning cartoon look. On top of that, I still think it's the best combat we've ever had in a Zelda game. Had a really cool parry system in it that was kind of a quick time parry system that was really fun, that let your Link roll around enemies, remove their armor so that you could damage them. They incorporated parry mechanics in the final boss fight in a very epic way. And lastly, this game doesn't get credit for being the first 3D Zelda to give you Breath of the Wild gets credit for that freedom of like open world. I can go anywhere. The sky's the limit. But Wind Waker truly was that first game. You get the King of Red Lions and you set sail on the ocean, and literally you could see as far as the horizon, and you see silhouettes of islands in the distance. And yeah, there are some story barriers that don't let you go to certain areas, but this truly was that first taste of go anywhere open world Zelda. And I think people forget about that. Same with the glider, the deku leaf. It was the first one. So a lot of those mechanics that were maybe perfected in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we saw first in Wind Waker. I think it doesn't get enough credit. I really don't. Same with the soundtrack. That Celtic Zelda soundtrack in this is just chef's kiss.
All right. I like it. I like to add a runner up there. So the last one is you get to pick a top 3 category. So maybe it's top 3 Pokemon games, Mario Kart tracks, Zelda dungeons, whatever. Like you get to pick a top 3, and I have to answer it also.
Got it. Okay, I could take one of these, right?
You can take one, or you can come up with one, whatever you want.
I'll tell you what, Josh, I'm going to take one. Have me back on the show. I'd love to come back sometime.
Perfect.
And I'll bring a GameBird special for the end.
Nice. Perfect.
I don't know what that means exactly, but believe me, I'll bring it. Let's go with I love my Zeldas. It's my favorite series. It's where everything began for me. So let's go with top 3 Zelda dungeons.
Ooh, top 3 Zelda dungeons. Okay. That's a good one.
Now you got to answer a tough one.
Now I got to answer a tough one. I know that the unfortunate thing is I'm forgetting so many. But would you say that the Deku Tree is a dungeon?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the first dungeon in Ocarina of Time.
Then I'm going with that for sure, because that was like that jump down into that spider web, so good. Like that was like almost you get like the pit in the, you could just feel the pit in your stomach, like when you were jumping down. Like I loved that. Like that was great. So definitely that one. Oh my God. Let's see. I'm gonna kind of camp out on Ocarina, but I loved Up on the Mountain on the Gorgons or whatever. Like
yeah. The Death Mountain. The Death Mountain.
Yes.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So there's
that
two there. There's the Dodongo's Cavern,
that one.
and then there's
That's the
and then
one.
there's the Fire Temple. So
Yeah.
Dodongo's Cavern. Yeah, it's iconic.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really, really enjoyed that. I remember. And then I wanna go with something recent. And the final I don't know if it's considered a dungeon, but like the final area in Echoes of Wisdom,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I think I'll go with that as a dungeon. So yeah, those will be my three. I know they're not the three best, but I'm just like you said, this is you get put on the
These are
spot
your
like
top.
this. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, these
Yeah,
are
now
like
now you know how it feels, dude.
exactly. Yes. Yeah. So how about you? I'll flip it around.
Okay, number 1 is very easy for me. For me, I think this is the best dungeon we've ever gotten in Zelda, and it's from a lesser popular Zelda game, Skyward Sword. There's
Mm,
a temple in there called the Ancient Cistern, and I think it is top tier. It's very cool, got the Asian temple vibes to it, and there is just such a rad moment where you end up way down in the depths, and it looks has this dark underworld vibe. The moblins are like zombified, undead,
yeah.
and there's this great moment where they're just surrounding you and you're climbing up this rope and they're climbing up. There's just dozens of them climbing up after you. And as you get higher, it gets brighter and you get back to it's like almost like crawling out of hell and entering paradise. It's just such a cool moment. And the mechanic of the boss fight in that one is disarming the boss and using its weapon to break its weak points essentially. Really cool, beautiful, serene music, and it has this golden temple vibe. Really love it. Another one that's really high up there for me is the very first adult temple in Ocarina of Time, the Forest Temple. Um,
Okay.
this one is super memorable. It's got that haunted, like foresty ghost temple theme. Chilling music in this temple that's just so haunting and eerie. They do the really cool, like nightmarish things where like the hallways twist, and
Yeah.
you've got the hands that drop down and bring you to the beginning. And the last boss is the very first Phantom Ganon we've ever had in a Zelda, and it's just
Okay.
such a vibe of this like haunted medieval palace that I just love so much. And then 3 for me would probably be this is hard now. I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna pick another Ocarina of Time one, uh, but this could be one that I change, as much as like when I lay in bed. Oh, I should have said this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna say the Spirit Temple, and that's the Desert Temple, and you get the mirror shield, and they have a lot of the
Yes.
cool light-based puzzles where you're,
Mhm.
exposing the light, using your mirror shield to reflect and solve puzzles or burn enemies, and I just remember having so much fun with that, and I really love the boss fight. It's the 2 witches, the Ice Witch and the Fire Witch, and
Yeah.
using your, attacks to burn them, and then they fuse, and they're grannies, and then they fuse to, like, a very attractive witch from what I remember, or a somewhat attractive witch, I don't remember.
That's it's incredible. I love it. Yeah, like you're literally like I'm remembering this stuff as you're saying it too. Like so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I actually think on the 3DS I'm literally at the Forest Temple. That's where I'm at right now, like
Hell
in my
yeah.
playthrough on that. So, um,
Hell yeah.
and like yeah, like you said, like I'm just like thinking to myself like, oh, there's Link Between Worlds has some great dungeons. Link to the Past, like there's so many,
There's
but it's
so
just like
many, yeah.
trying to pick. So, well, this has been super great, my friend. Thank you so much. Let everybody know where they can connect with you. And we just did that not too long ago, the predictions video. So make sure to plug that as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys can find me here on YouTube at GameBird Classic or on Twitter at _Birdmaster. Yeah, been super busy, so content's been a little bit slow over the last few weeks, but I've got a bunch of videos planned out. The last big one that I did was a collaboration with N64 Josh and a bunch of other phenomenal Nintendo creators, Botox Games, Nintendo Land, Andres Restart, Thunderstash Gaming, Sky Swords Alyssa, tons of great creators. It's the biggest collaboration I've ever done. And we all shared our top 2 to 3 predictions for what we think will be shown at the very first mainline direct of the year. This wasn't a February or March direct predictions. This was specifically a what do we think we could see in Nintendo's first mainline direct of the year. So this one is good for now. I also do a bunch of Nintendo discussion videos, speculation. I do skits sometimes, really weird skits sometimes. Maybe some are a little off-putting. I don't know. I think they're freaking brilliant. So otherwise I wouldn't have made them.
That's true. Yeah.
I also did, if you guys are interested and you haven't been on my channel before, highly recommend another video that Josh is in a bunch. One of my favorite videos that I've ever done before. We all went to PAX West last year, and I made a 30-minute video. It's me, the Nintendo podcast. You'll see Josh in it a number of times. We have a few really funny exchanges in it, and my goal with this vlog was to make a video that makes the audience feel like they're hanging out with us. And I think I did a really good job at that. So guys, if you're curious about what it's like at PAX West, especially from a Nintendo fan perspective, please check that one out and keep your eyes out for some new good content. I have another, Josh, I have a question for you. I might as well just ask you here. Are you a physical collector by any chance? Do you collect physical games or are you all digital?
Oh no, I have a huge collection of all generations, and probably my coolest bit of collecting is I have every North American release from the first year of Switch 1.
Hell yeah. Love this. Okay, so Josh, I have a new show that I've been planning for my channel. I want to do an episode once a month. It requires guests. So I want to extend an invitation. No pressure. I know everyone's got busy schedules, but the show that I've come up with, I just finished making a really fun, quick little intro for it. It's called Super Game and Tell, and it's a show and tell where me and a special guest bring 3 items from our collection. Could be a console, could be a game, could be a piece of merch, could be anything. It could be old retro stuff, it could be modern stuff. But anyways, we bring 3 items to an episode, each of us, and we have a back and forth. You show an item, talk about it, talk about why it's special to you, why you love it so much, why it's in your collection. Then I pull out an item, I show why. It could be a pair of Nintendo sneakers. Doesn't really matter. But if you're ever interested in doing that, it's something I am going to be planning in the near future to get a creator for once a month. I know Thunderstash is in on it. Botox Games wants to do it. I think Attack the Backlog is interested in doing an episode. Sky Swords Alyssa. So I want to get a nice rotation. I think this is just a fun, I love what you've done with this show, Josh, is so cool. I love talking about nostalgia. I love talking about the memories, why these games are so important to me, why they're important to you. It's just so much fun. So if you're interested in that, and
yes,
folks
absolutely.
in the audience, if you're interested, keep an eye out because I am working on that.
Yeah, I would love that. I have a lot of my collection is in storage right now, but even just the shelf behind me, I've got some statues that I love.
Could be I see you got Lego stuff in the background too. It could be anything.
Yeah, well, and what probably some of the coolest stuff, I have a backpack hanging on my door right here from Nintendo. They sent me like a goodie box. So you got the Ocarina Lego set. You already got it built. That's so sick.
It came in the mail, and I was like, it was at the height of me being sick, and I told my wife, I pulled it out, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna build that right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, babe, I'm not feeling too well. I think I'm just gonna shut off for the night and just focus on this to stop thinking about I can't breathe or my head's pounding." And I had a lot of fun building it. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, GameBird, for hanging out. Chat, you guys have been amazing, and as always, play it loud.